Hey everybody, weather for Weather Geeks time here on Wednesday evening, the 8th day of March, and we actually have some wintry weather to talk about for a change. It seems like it's been weeks since we've had a legitimate winter weather threat. I had to bust out some graphics today that I haven't used since sometime in January or very early February. We're going to talk all about this late week system in this video, but first, just a quick review of the last couple of days worth of high-resolution visible satellite pictures. This was yesterday's shot of the area, and of course all of this over here was snow cover. But it's March, when the sun is out and temperatures are above freezing. Snow does not stand much of a chance, so that was yesterday's picture. Here's today's picture. There goes the snow. No more snow on the ground in a lot of western PA as a result of the kind of weather we had this afternoon, which was pretty pleasant. Temperatures were similar to today to yesterday. We started out a little bit cooler this morning than yesterday morning, but afternoon temperatures today just a degree or two higher than yesterday's values, and tonight will be a fairly similar night to last night as we drop down into the mid-20s. Now, the weather picture across the U.S. does not look very threatening at all on this Wednesday evening. There's no big barn burners out there, a few thunderstorms in northern Texas, but a pretty stout area of low pressure will emerge from the Rockies over the next 12 to 24 hours and take a beeline across I-70 and I-80 towards our vicinity. I think tomorrow could start with a few more clouds than we've had over the last couple of mornings, but the afternoon should be pretty nice for our Thursday. All right, let's talk about this Friday situation. I'll back up the animation here to about 5 a.m. Here's one model depiction of things at 5:12 a.m. on Friday. I think this is generally pretty close to the right idea, and that precipitation probably pushes in an hour or two before sunrise Friday morning. This will be largely wet snow, with temperatures right around 32. There can be some raindrops mixed in as this pushes in, especially in areas south of Route 224 down into Columbiana County in particular. But for the most part, in our television market, this will be wet snow for a handful of hours Friday morning. Your chances for mixed precipitation may actually go down for a little while. As the atmosphere cools, the precipitation will cool the atmosphere a little bit, and so while initially there may be a few raindrops, by 7, 8, 9 in the morning, just about everyone should be seeing a pretty good thump of wet snow. Now that being said, pardon me, as the midday hours approach and the snow rates decrease somewhat, I would expect some of the milder air to win the battle, and the precipitation to change to rain, or at least mixed precipitation, down towards East Palestine, especially down towards East Liverpool, and Lisbon, and West Point, and Hanoverton, and Salineville, places like that. Again, the farther north you are, the smaller the chance is that you'll see some sort of mixed precipitation. And as we talked about last evening, the exact track of this will be very, very important. I mean, like a 20-mile wiggle to the south or to the north could have pretty big implications for a lot of communities kind of in the 224 and I-80 corridors. A little wiggle with this system could mean very little snow, or you end up getting a handful of inches of snow. This is a low confidence forecast as a result of this being such a tight needle to thread with this storm track coming through. Now, whatever happens during the daylight hours on Friday, confidence is higher that Friday night the weather is going to be similar throughout our area. A lot of clouds, brisk winds, colder temperatures will drop down into the 20s, and wet and slushy areas can freeze up. There'll be some flurries and snow showers around, probably giving us little additional accumulation, generally under an inch worth of snow in most of the area Friday night. So independent on what happens during the day Friday, an inch or less of snow Friday night can make for some slick spots, and flurries will linger into Saturday morning. All right, here's a look at some computer models for kind of the heart of our viewing area. Youngstown, Warren, Niles, Vienna, places like that, Girard, Liberty, etc., etc. Most of our models are kind of in this zone right here for the heart of our viewing area, which would suggest 3 or 4 inches. All right, so a couple of things here. First of all, this is based on the latest runs of the modeling. The modeling has been going back and forth as the models are trying to decide that exact track of the system. The other thing we have to keep in mind is that every flake of snow can probably stick early in the day because the sun won't even be up yet. But once we get deep enough into the morning hours, and the snow rates probably decrease, and the sun, even though we're not going to see the sun is still up there, that incoming solar radiation in March will start to mean a little bit more towards midday. So I think there's going to be a lot of compaction and even some melting on contact, especially by midday with the snow. So I would lean towards the lower end of some of this model data in a lot of our viewing area. You're going to see some bigger numbers out there if you look at raw model data, but you got to keep in mind that not every snowstorm is created equally, and a snowstorm in March during the daylight hours is not the same as one coming in the heart of winter. All right, so here's a look at what we call a box and whisker graphic, showing just a handful of cities, a sampling of cities across our TV viewing area. The brackets on each side, the range of possibilities at kind of the high and low end. The most plausible outcome is in the blue box, kind of in the middle of those brackets on either end. So at a place like Warren, you'll notice that the bracket goes all the way out here past 4 inches, which indicates that while the most likely scenario in Warren is 1 to 3, we wouldn't be shocked at all if you got 4 or so in Warren and Howland and places, kind of in that vicinity. Again, the farther south you are, higher the confidence is that amounts will be pretty tame, generally an inch or less, maybe an inch and a half if you get a good thump in the morning on Friday morning in East Liverpool and places like that. But yeah, bottom line, more north, less south is the way we're going to go right now. I think between Friday and Friday night, there could even be up to 7 or 8 inches once you get up into Ashtabula County and parts of Crawford County, PA. I'm going to watch the incoming model data this evening. If we make any changes this evening, it would be maybe to bring this 3 to 5 area in the deeper blues, which is kind of Route 87 and north right now in Trumbull County. It'd be to bring it a little farther to the south. Same idea over in Mercer County. Maybe it comes a little bit farther to the south. That might be a change we make this evening based on the evening model data. This is a low confidence forecast considering the first flakes are going to fly in less than 36 hours because, it's such a tight window this low pressure system has to go through to deliver these exact amounts. A little bit north, a little less snow. A little bit south, a little more snow. And so you're going to want to keep checking the forecast often between now and Friday morning. Going along with the expected snow totals, I would expect the road impacts to be highest north of Interstate 80. But that being said, this is for the entire system or the entire event, Friday into Friday night. I think Friday morning, first thing in the morning, even in areas that probably won't get more than an inch, things could still be a little bit slick. So Route 11 in Columbiana County, Route 7 heading south out of North Lima towards the Rogers area and heading down towards Calcutta and East Liverpool. That could be a little bit tricky, even though snow totals down there won't be that high. The snow could come down at a good clip at a bad time of the day, Friday morning, so watch for that. So, again, 680, the Ohio Turnpike, the Pennsylvania Turnpike, 376, heading down towards the Pittsburgh Airport, I-80, I-79 in Mercer County. All of these thoroughfares can be tricky, especially in the morning on Friday. As we get into the afternoon, I would suspect conditions will improve considerably south of Interstate 80, where temperatures will probably get into the mid-30s. The snow rates will come down, and you might even see a changeover to mixed precipitation and rain. But Friday morning is going to be tricky, I think, in a lot of our viewing area, regardless of whether you end up in total getting an inch or maybe a handful of inches worth of snow. So kind of recapping things, between Thursday and Saturday, Thursday's quiet and dry. It's late Thursday night, a couple of hours before daybreak Friday, that the snow pushes in. A little mixing can occur, but primarily wet snow in most of our area first thing Friday morning. And then some mixed precipitation becoming likely again by midday, especially south of Interstate 80. The farther north from Youngstown you go up into Trumbull and Mercer, the better chance you have of just seeing snow, for the most part, on our Friday. And the heaviest accumulations will probably be in our northern areas. Flurries can linger into Saturday morning, with plenty of clouds around for Saturday afternoon, and plenty of cold air to be found over the next week or two. This is a forecast that we have not seen very often at all in 2023, and really it's been since Christmas time back in December. We're not going to see the kind of extreme cold we had at that time, but it's been since around that time since we've had a consistent cold pattern, and that Christmas cold snap was only a few days. We're talking maybe 8 or 9 or 10 days at least in a row of pretty chilly weather compared to the average for the middle of March. And with this will come a few more chances for some snow showers and snowflakes. I think there'll be some lake effect flurries and snow showers around at times. Monday into Tuesday next week, and there may be more wintry mischief beyond that in this pattern. So we're finally getting some winter, ironically enough, in the month of March. It works out that way sometimes, and it certainly is this winter. As always, thank you for watching Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll have more updates on social media and tonight on 21 News at 11 as we digest the latest computer model information and maybe make some tweaks to that snow forecast.